What's good, y'all? It's your boy 30 Green. We're back with more Ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some of it's not, but we still got to speak on it. So let's go. The Republican-led House to formalize Gulf of America name change sounds really dumb to me. Moving on. Rick Ross is quoted as saying, "Real jiggers stay real." Was it something really deep? He's open for reconciliation with Drake, but whatever. Yeah, he's still salty. Moving on. Lizzo calls the Bible a historical document and fans erupt. She just keeps putting her foot in her mouth, right? Moving on. 8-year-old boy orders 69,000 lollipops from his mom's phone. Hey, my mom would have made me eat every last one of those things, right? Moving on. Biden says he's not shocked by Harris' loss, believes he would have beaten Trump. Maybe. At this point, maybe. They would have taken a white man over a black woman, but just my 3 cents. Moving on. Mother beats essayist to death after finding disabled daughter undressed in his house. It's rightfully so. Free her. Moving on. Last week, a toddler was left in front of a SoCal police station. Deputies were attempting to identify the boy and locate his parents. This happened in San Bernardino. I'm telling you, all the weird stuff seems to be happening in SB lately, right? My hometown. But moving on. Cedric the Entertainer and Anthony Anderson opened a new barbecue spot in Los Angeles. Yeah, we shall try it out and see one day, right? I'll give you a review. Moving on. Kenyon Martin almost throws hands with Nick Young during the show taping at the book of You a Child. Man, why they get so passionate about whatever they talking about? I think it was about Coach Pop, but whatever. Moving on. Disney World trip leaves dad stunned after $1,400 price tag for a day at the theme park. I mean, yeah, because you gotta put food and all this other stuff. You might as well just stay at home and watch the Disney Channel, right? Moving on. Yo, Kevin Durant is petty for this. Real petty. Moving on. Ameri says she leads one thing to stop label from giving it to J-Lo and opens up about Beyonce and Rich Harris drama. Shout out to that sister, because I did not want that song, or that song would have been trash if it got in the hands of J-Lo, because we all know that J-Lo's never been accused of being a good singer. Good dancer, good actress, but not a good singer. My 3 cents. Moving on. Trumpy plans to establish a national center for homeless veterans using funds that were previously allocated for housing undocumented immigrants. That actually might make sense for Dumb Donald, you know? Moving on. It's being reported that Ameri and Corey Hardick are reportedly back together after deciding to work things out. I'm always going to celebrate it. I always want to see marriages work out, so I'm praying for the best for those two. Moving on. If it's true. Now we can move on. Jaden Daniels' mom is quoted as, "I guarantee there's someone who's trying to get their hooks into Jaden Daniels. So thank God he got a mama like me, because it ain't happening." She's from San Bernardino, so we gonna talk about this because I think she might be emasculating him just a tidbit. But hey, moving on. You're a dog mom. This is what I seen in the store when I was getting Mother's Day card last week. Moving on. Derek Carr is retiring from the game of football. He spent, I don't know how many years with the Raiders, so once he's a Raider, he's always a Raider, but I actually like the cat, and I hope that he would have ended his career a little bit better. Hopefully he comes back to the Raiders and ends there, but we'll see. Moving on. I'll Be Sure says he's the only one alive with key knowledge on Diddy, Kim Porter, and more as he prepares to testify. I wonder what he's going to say, and he's incredible, but hey, moving on. Study finds friends who playfully roast each other are more trustworthy and honest. I can definitely attest to that. Me and Quez seem to roast each other and we get along just fine. There's others who are really sensitive who... Anyway, moving on. Shout out to Jess just because, you know, it's her birthday, and as you can see, she was killing it last week. Moving on. Black officer receives praise for not leaving Rodney Henson alone in the elevator with other officers. And I think the brother got fired. We're going to talk about that tonight too, so moving on. Chris Tucker's family all quit their jobs once they learned he was pulling in $20 million a year, and he told them to kick rocks. Moving on. Lil Wayne breaks up with Denise Bidot and kicks her and her daughter out on Mother's Day. That's cold pimping right there, right? Moving on. Michael Jordan, which some of us on this panel believe he's the GOAT, will serve as a special contributor with NBC for their 2025-26 NBA coverage. As he should, the right person to do it. Let's go. Can't wait. Moving on. And this is for Melvin. Michael, Kobe, anybody else afterwards. LeBron, whoever you want to put, but that's how it goes. Michael, Kobe, the GOATs. Moving on. South African president dismisses U.S. asylum claims, says the colonizers don't like change. He's being petty. Moving on. Yeah, that looks about right. Moving on. Game Dash ordered to sell film studio and streaming network. That's crazy, man. Prayers up to him. Moving on. Marvel Studios reportedly had talks with Ryan Coogler to direct X-Men film. Hey, he's the Midas touch, man. He can't lose. I don't see why not. And I love the X-Men, so hopefully this is true. Moving on. Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, said she decided to divorce her husband after waking up one day and realizing she deserved so much more. I wonder what that so much more was. Moving on. Snoop Dogg claims he bought everything Suge Knight owns on new diss song. Shut your bitch ass up. And it's actually pretty hard too. You know what I mean? Moving on. Barbershop TV series starring Jermaine Fowler ordered at Amazon. Can't wait to see what they got cooking with that. Moving on. Chris Brown to remain in UK police custody. Court date set for June 13th. He just got arrested just for going to tour, right? But I think it's stemming from an assault that happened previously, maybe 2-3 years ago. But we'll see. Praying for him. Moving on. 11 inmates escaped out of New Orleans prison. Man, praying for them. Moving on. They're saying that Pope has like a half black mom or something, but he doesn't identify as black. Well, we don't want your punk ass either way. So, yeah, moving on. My fault, he was born with Creole and Haitian heritage. So, funk you. Moving on. Tory Lanez is actually Kelsey Harris's bodyguard comes forward and admits that Kelsey Harris shot at Megan Thee Stallion. We'll talk about this tonight. Last but not least, this Diddy case. Cassie said she used to rub other ninjas' TUM on Diddy's nipples after they ejaculated on her, and I don't want. I'm Third Degree, and that's being Ratchet News. Enjoy the show. Peace.